Happy New Year, everyone. Neomis here. Now, this is the first day of my new series here, just for January only. This is my Arsenal transfer series, and we have got big news here on New Year's Day. As we all knew, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang being linked away from Arsenal. Now we know that Barcelona are said to be interested, along with Inter Milan, plus a former Arsenal player in Glen Kamara, defensive midfielder, being linked back to Arsenal from Rangers. Stay tuned to my thoughts and my views about all of this, and if you haven't done so already, I don't know why you haven't, hit the subscribe button, which should be somewhere around here, comment and like the video. Now, let's get started. So, January 1st, 2020, here we are. Topic of the morning, and I'm recording this just after midday. Aubameyang linked to Inter Milan and Barcelona. Again, the stories have now been confirmed that he does, or at least is considering of leaving Arsenal at the end of the season. And the big story is Mikel Arteta is working feverishly to try and convince Aubameyang to stay past the end of the season. I understand completely, and my personal opinion on it is, yes, Aubameyang is a fantastic player. He's our talisman. He's scored well over 50 goals in less than 100 appearances. I believe he's had 89 appearances for Arsenal so far since his time here, and has scored about somewhere between 54 and 60 goals, I believe. And I think that ratio is absolutely fantastic for a player of his age. But let's be really honest, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls who are watching this. We all know what the board told us, or at least what Raul Sanelli told us at the beginning of last season. If players' contracts are running down, they will sell them. And we might want to keep Aubameyang, and I do think we should keep Aubameyang, because over the past several weeks against Chelsea, he's been absolutely fantastic. Before then, I mean, he's been absolutely brilliant. Yes, he's had some of his bad games, but he's our top scorer this season. He was last season's joint top goal scorer with Mohamed Salah and Mane. This is a player we should be trying to keep. But I will say one thing, and I'll say this just once, and I'm sure I'm going to have to say this again for people to really understand it. I'm a supporter of Arsenal Football Club, not Aubameyang FC. If Aubameyang decides that he wants to leave and he doesn't want to be at the club anymore, you know what, I'd be sad, but would completely understand it. Because obviously the promises that we've told him when we first signed him under Wenger, in that we're going to be able to give you Champions League football, you're going to be the kind of final missing piece, or one of the key pieces to us earning trophies. We haven't been able to promise that to Aubameyang. And therefore, we are now in this position. Let's see what happens. Do I think he's going to get sold this January? No. And the club would have to be absolutely stupid to sell him this January. We should not be selling him in January by any means. Maybe put a deal in place for January for the summer. I could understand that. I could see that happening. But I do not want to see Aubameyang leave. I mean, virtually, we would then be put into a relegation fight. Because no player that we could get for the cost that we got Aubameyang for, we can't get a quality like him in this day and age. We cannot. We're going to have to get someone that's up and coming, and to put them in the position that Aubameyang is in right now, I think would be grossly tough. So for me, it's an Aubameyang stay. Long term, who knows? And finally, one of the key stories that I'd been looking at this morning, I thought this one was really interesting. Glen Kamara been linked back to Arsenal Football Club. You guys would have known just a couple of years ago, this is a guy who was in the Arsenal Academy in the under-23s, I believe under Wenger's last season, and never got a chance at Arsenal. He's a defensive midfielder, but can also play in central midfield as well. And we all know that our midfield needs more bite, needs more defensive solidity. And to bring in a guy like Glen Kamara, who also knows the club, who's been part of the club system, he's now 23 years old. Maybe this is a good time. Maybe this is a good time to bring Glen Kamara back. And if you don't know, Glen Kamara is 24 years old. Sorry, I said 23 before. He's 24 years old. Currently plays for Rangers in the Scottish League. Again, like I said, plays as a defensive midfielder. Can also play central midfield. Now, the one thing that I want from a defensive midfielder is I want them to be the old-fashioned Matic, big, strong defensive midfielder. He's only 6 foot. I mean, that's just an inch shorter than, an inch taller than me. So, yeah, I want more. But does he meet all the requirements? Yes. He's strong, can hold up the ball really well. His technical ability on the ball is actually surprisingly pretty good. And again, that just shows, you know, of where his background is. Arsenal. Most of the guys in the academy, or I would say all of the people who have come from the Arsenal academy on a technical level, at least by the time that they're 18, are technically really sound. And Glen Kamara is no different. And this Finnish-born player coming back to Arsenal, a club that's given him his development, I think this is fantastic. This is something that, you know, it's almost like he's gone out on a 2-year loan away from Arsenal. So for him, Arsenal to be linked with him again, brilliant. Story is that we've gone and seen him 5 times already this season, and we like what we see. There are other clubs that are interested in him. Leicester are interested in him, who, to be really honest, Leicester know how to find diamonds in the rough and to be able to identify them and use them in the right way. We need to start taking that model. This guy was with us. We can give him first team football. Things are different now. Do I think we have a chance of signing him? Hell yes, we have a chance of signing him. And you know what? He's currently valued at 8 million. And for a player only valued at 8 million, I think that's pretty fair. Especially when we sold him for 50,000. I think it's more than fair. He's going to be there to sit in front of the back four, to provide additional support to Lucas Torreira. This is what we want. He's not much of a goal scorer. He's only scored 1 goal this season. And again, he's in the Scottish League. So that does say something, you know, if he's not scoring that many goals. You know, so we're talking old school defensive midfielder. I like what I see from him. I'm not sure if he has much of a heading ability, which is something that I do think that we should be leaning towards. But everything else, being technically good on the ball, holding the ball up, making tackles, has the energy to get around the pitch, he's able to provide that. And maybe a combination between him, Guendouzi, and Lucas Torreira in the midfield might be enough in order to kind of shore up the back four with Arsenal, provide that creativity, and give our attacking players a platform where they could do what they do best. Create chances and score goals. And that's what we really want. So, Glen Kamara, could he be an ex-Arsenal player? I sure hope so. But guys, let me know what you think. Do you think we should be going after Glen Kamara? Do you think there are other high-profile DMs that we should be looking at? What do you think about Aubameyang? I know everyone has been talking about that. But leave your comments below, like the video, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. But once again, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you tomorrow, definite, for another video, unless something major, and I mean major, comes up later on today. So, I will see you guys later.